it's a bit of a shame because it's turning at the moment in the UK. Like, it's getting to the point where before it was kind of nice, like you'd have a walk outside.
Yeah.
And you could do it in like a t-shirt and trousers and you'd be okay. But now, like, it's getting to the point if you go out like that, like you're gonna freeze. So we're all having to start to wear jumpers and everything, and it's fine during the day. And then you get to the evening, you're like, mate, I don't know, I just can't be bothered. Like when I went to this Governor B gig, I was, I think we all just went in like a shirt and shorts, or shirt and trousers, even though like I thought it was gonna rain. But
was it outdoors?
If anything, that's almost like my favorite time of year. No, it was actually at a sick location. So it was like this underground little like tiny little theater. So there was obviously the stage, and then there was us just below it. But then there was also like seating above us that just looked straight down onto the stage. So it was wicked. And me and my mate. So there's this guy, this English presenter, TV presenter who like commentates on the basketball, and like I mean obviously I've got respect for the guy, like he's doing his job, but he's whack, man. Like he's just not up to scratch with anything that any of the American commentators are saying. Like he
doesn't know the game, or he's just not
like he knows the game. It's just some of the things he's saying is like there's no point to it. He does it with this one other guy, and the other guy does kind of know what he's talking about. Anyways, we saw him at the gig, and we were like, mate, should we go and just tell him that he's rubbish? Obviously, we didn't, because we're not like just rude people. But it was so weird being in a massive place like that with loads of people again. Like I caught myself so many times like standing next to someone and being like, ooh, get away from me. I'm not used to standing and being around so many people. And it's been weird because like usually being a massive extrovert, that's something that usually I'd thrive off. But recently, coming out of lockdown, I've really noticed myself just it's not as bad now, but at the start, like really getting quite nervous in those big social situations, which is a completely new experience for me, because before it'd be like, whoa, I thrive off the energy of the people. But yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, though, it was an epic gig. It was like a 4-hour drive to get there, though, which was a bit of a shame. So got back at like 2 a.m. on a Monday morning. Yeah, so pretty hefty. So went to work the next day, which was ace. But yeah, everyone was like, "Oh, Joel, bet you were out partying." And I was like, "No, I've just been driving for like 4 hours. Came back, 4 hours sleep, off to work."
Dedication to the show. We do the sacrifices we make, man.
Yeah, 100%. So glad to have live music back. And then I also got his like the vinyl of his latest album. And then he was doing like a meet and greet, and we'd all lost our voice at this point, so I sounded really stupid when I was talking to him. Hey dog, can you sign my vinyl for me? And he was like, yeah man, for sure. And so I got it signed to my younger brother, which I felt that made me feel good. I was like, I'm a good brother, I'm a good guy.
But you kept the vinyl though.
But then, oh yeah, no, 100%. Like yeah, get the whole thing. Got him to sign it. Got a photo with him. Bought a pair of socks with like his branding on it because I thought it looked pretty cool. And then we came back, and so now after buying that vinyl, I've gone back into that mindset of like, oh, I'm actually obsessed with vinyls. Like vinyls are just they're so cool. I can't remember what the word is now, but like just the look of them and the feel of having like a proper vinyl. They're just so sick. And so I'm going to start a bit of a collection, but you've got to start somewhere. So I'm starting off at 1.
There you go.
And then
that's all you need.
Next live gig that I go to, I don't know. That's the plan.
Welcome back to the SpewnedIt Podcast.
Have you got any live gigs like lined up for relatively soon?
Nothing relatively soon. I bought the only show that I have tickets for at the moment is the Struts, which isn't until I believe March. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun. It'll be good. The last time I saw them, they were great, but it was a medium-sized venue, not huge. Yeah. I was probably say 8 like people lengths back from the front, maybe like
Okay.
a third of the way, because get there early, wait in line a little bit.
Yeah.
And
100%. Yeah.
2 rows, it was general flooring, but two like rows of people in front of me. There was this dude that had this hat with a bunch of LEDs on it, and it was doing like different patterns, but it was like a top hat, and he's standing like 3 rows from the stage with this LED top hat that's like flashing. Like he should have had a seizure warning on his T-shirt. Like it was ridiculous.
That's how bad.
So uncomfortable. It was horrible, and he was just right in front of the middle of the stage, and like I wanted to go up there and be like, dude, turn your hat off or put it to like a soothing like fade in and out thing rather than this setting. Like because he's the only one who can't see it. And in front of me, there's this guy who's there with, I can tell, two ladies, and they're like visibly uncomfortable because they're right behind the hat. And I can tell the dude's like joking with him about it, but he doesn't ever like step up and be like, "Hey, dude, your hat is the worst. Take it off or turn it off or something." And so we just had to like endure it for the entire duration of the show. It was terrible, and that's the thing I remember most about the show is that, because it was just so bad, actually terrible.
Yeah, well, that just seems a little bizarre, but also just very, just not thoughtful. Like, you're just not thinking of other people at that point. So if you're either ever thinking of doing that, just don't. And if you've done it in the past, then you've made a mistake. Just don't do it again. One thing I remember massively from the gig, and do it now. One thing I remember from the gig is that one of the openers, this guy called Tides, who's a pretty cool artist. He's up and coming, and I've been chatting to him actually because I just said, like, mate, your set was wicked. He, like, at one of the previous gigs that he did not too long ago, he'd like, I don't think, he hadn't broken his ankle because that'd be pretty severe, but he'd like, it was in like a cast thing, like one of these supports.
Okay.
So he was hyping up the crowd and doing it while hopping on one foot. And I just remember I was like, mate, that is so bizarre, but so cool. Like, fair enough. I love the commitment levels to him doing that. And he said it was like, he was like, man, I'm so sorry about my foot. Like, I would really be getting involved, but I'm going to do my best. And so he was like, mate, if the other leg goes, you guys on the front row need to like catch me and do something. So I was like, you know what? Respect. So yeah, and he did a good job. And then one of the, like, the DJ who was there at the very start looks like a footballer from Chelsea. He looks like one of our defenders, a guy called Tony Rudiger. And like the guy comes on and I was like, oh my days. Like if this guy starts speaking German, then I'm going to be convinced that it's Tony Rudiger. Like there's no way they look so similar.
DJ.
Oh yeah, I feel like that'd be a pretty cool part-time job after being a footballer. But yeah, I can't wait for there to be more gigs. They're pretty, I don't know, they're pretty like strict though with everything that you need. I'm pretty sure we had to confirm like COVID, like vaccines and everything that we had done.
Yeah.
How was it like going to your last gig? Like, how did you find it with the masses of people? Because, I mean, like I said before, like I found it weird, but how did you find it?
Oh, it was definitely weird. Like, it just felt very
bizarre.
So different. Yeah. 'Cause I mean, it was at least a year and a half, almost, maybe a little over that even, since the last time I was in a crowd of people at all. And so I went to this Porter Robinson show and had Jai Wolf opening. So it was a great show, really cool. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know who Jai Wolf was going in, but he did fine.
Yeah.
I'm not like a big EDM head or rave person. I don't even know what you call those, but like it was really fun. The energy was there. Yeah. I mean, people were dancing, hanging out, and I went with a whole big group of people that were like rave people, so that was quite an interesting experience. It was fun though; they were all super chill.
Yeah. Nice.
But like you were mentioning before, it's definitely, it felt really weird to just like look out and see like hundreds of people just milling about, all in like relative close proximity. And we did have to confirm vaccination status as we entered, so that there was that, I guess, which is just, I suppose, the new standard. But yeah, no, just being in that crowd and like seeing all those people, and it felt pretty unreal just after having not done that for such a long time and having so many like regulations. Like, I mean, you know how it was. Like at certain points, you're supposed to only have like one person in a grocery aisle, and you can only like walk up one way to, you know, crazy.
And that was only like a year and a half ago, really, which is
a year ago,
which
really.
is so crazy to think about. How big was your gig then? It sounds like it was a good few hundred people at least.
It was huge, actually. Yeah, no, it was actually the same venue where we saw John Bellion. Same venue, yeah.
That was a really good venue, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think theater, mine, including the people at the top. I mean, I'd say it's like no more than 200, but it was a really packed space, so the energy was really like, it was good. Like, it didn't feel like there was a lack of people there or anything, and it was just nice to have that. Like, it was just so loud in my face, and I was like, mate, I love this. Like, we got out and we were just shattered, like we were sweating, lost our voice, our ears were ringing, and we just walked out, and I was like, that was wicked. That was so cool. And yeah, I don't know, like I can't wait to go to the next gig, really. I've just got to wait and see what happens. I'm still waiting for NF to announce tour dates for the UK, because he's doing the US. Is he doing that at the moment, or he's doing that in a bit?
It looks like he looks like he's been touring around. He's kind of in the
gutted
southeast at the moment.
Yeah,
on his stores, but yeah, I've just looked up the capacity for the theater I was at. The capacity is 7,000. So I'd say there was at least 2,500, 3,000 people there.
Wow. Yeah, because I mean, even when we went to see John Bellion, like there was a lot of people there. Like that was pretty packed. Yeah. No, we got a good spot. It's funny because thinking back, actually, so where I was at our last gig, we were in a very similar spot to where like we were in terms of like the ratio. So like there must have only been, like, in the tiny little room that we were in, there must have only been like maybe 20-25 rows of people, but so we were kind of like maybe number 4, number 5, but literally smack bang in the middle. So all the videos that I've got, the actual visuals are perfect, because it's like you're seeing, so Governor B's right there, and he's got like the lights coming out behind him. Like he had one where it looked like he had like wings, and so the whole screen goes black, and it's just these white wings that pop out, and then you see him in the middle. And because we're right there, oh man, like it was so sick. It's definitely something that I've missed over the course of the last few years, when we just haven't been able to do it. And I think it's been tough for artists as well, because obviously, surely with something like that, like you've got to be able to enjoy that, to bring that much energy to a place. You've really, really got to enjoy it.
I mean, in this, making your living, it's hard to sell merch if you're not
man
touring around. I've heard that's like the main source of the income is the merch sales.
I'm not surprised
while on tour, because the tour itself is so expensive, and people don't make money from selling records anymore, really. Like,
no, not at all.
I imagine a small cut from like kind of the resurgence of vinyl, maybe, but nobody buys CDs anymore. Yeah, everything's just on, streaming. So
no, it's messed up. It'd be really interesting, actually, if we kind of, in like another year or so, if we do another chat on live gigs and then see where we are at that point, because like when we last spoke about this, I can't even remember how long that was ago, but like it'd be wicked to do something like that
early
again.
2020, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, which is crazy. So about a year and a half, maybe even more. So if we do like I said, like another year and a half after we've been to another gig, and just see what happens, see what it's like, see if we're back to sort of, I don't know, to normal at that point, would be fascinating.
Who knows? It's hard. I don't know. It's hard to imagine like a normal at this point.
Oh,
I just feel like
100%.
everything's gonna be so different. 'Cause it's not like we're gonna eradicate COVID forever. I don't know.
But basically, we're excited for live music to be back, and that's the main thing.
Takeaway. That is the main takeaway.
So yeah, definitely go out, go to a live gig.
Go to a live
because
gig.
it's wicked to have them back. And if you've never been to a live gig before, then you're missing out. And just find when one of your next favorite or when one of your favorite artists is next close to you, and just go. Because how far was it of a drive for you, Jens? Like it wasn't that far.
Not bad. I mean, just Seattle. So I've met up at my friend's house before, probably 40 minutes, and then Ubered over to the venue. You know, another 20 or so, and then
it's the way to do
back.
it.
So yeah, not far at all. Not far at all.
Yeah. We ended up getting a McDonald's on the way back from the drive because it was because we were just shattered.
Yep.
And I think what happened is we get there, go through, and then I think for some reason we got the order from the car behind us as well. So I'd said, I was like, guys, I don't want anything. And then this guy, he gives us a big bag, and I'm like, okay, we'll have a look, but so have a quick look inside. All of our stuff's there, cool. So then we start driving because obviously that's what we check for.
Yeah.
And so then we go through, and then he's sorting through the stuff, and then he's like, yo, there's a custom order here for a wrap with with bacon and stuff.
Nice.
And I'm just like, yo, that's kind of got to be mine here. And so then so I had that, and it was just a massive bonus. Just was not expecting that. So all in all, it was a great day. There was just so much that went our way.
Yeah,
even the McDonald's order. What is not to love?
You never know what you're gonna get after a show. It's free bacon McDonald's wrap. Could be yours.
I mean,
go to your next concert.
That's that classic saying. Do you know what I mean? That I live by those words. You never know what you get.
You never
when
know
you go into
what
a concert.
you are gonna get. It might be a bacon McDonald's
Wrap.
Yeah.
Wow. That just words of words of wisdom.
They've been
words
said often and not often enough. That's
not often enough at all. I reckon we should that's what we should open the show with every time now. No, what I reckon is that we come back to this in a year and a half time. We go off to another gig, see what happens, and then we can have another chat about this. Obviously, we would love to hear about your gig experiences, so please do get in touch. Obviously, you can just comment down below and make sure that you do subscribe. And, yeah, we'll see you next week.